time that I can think of that it's happened in the last 6 months, it happened because the borrower didn't tell us everything that we needed to know. And some information came of light at the very end, and there was moving parts, and so we actually had a commitment, but then something came up, and
that doesn't count. Because if they don't tell you, I guess what I'm reading from this email is basically someone who is, let's say, really honest, and he wants a loan from you.
Yeah.
Has there ever been a situation where you said, we're going to get you this loan, and then you guys didn't come through for some reason?
No.
Okay,
the only time we've failed to fund a loan is when there's been so much hair on the deal, as we sometimes refer to it in this business, that sometimes it's the borrower just, I want a hard money loan and I don't want to give you any information. So it's
that's totally different. I mean, if the borrower comes, if the borrower comes and tells you ahead of time, look, it's got all this hair on it, you can decide the answer is no, we're not going to give you a loan.
Yeah.
But once you've said yes, as long as the borrower hasn't, surprised you with anything else, you've always funded.
One of the challenges in people who come to who apply for a hard money loan these days is if they've ever borrowed from a hard money lender in the past, say 10 years ago, they'll remember a world where they call it a hard money loan because it's based on the hard asset. It's basically based on the equity of the property. So, for example, years ago, it really, for many hard money lenders, it didn't matter who owned the property or what their story was or what their situation was. They just looked at the property only, and if the property had the equity that was sufficient, then they would more than likely make a loan under certain terms and conditions. Nowadays, we are a little bit more bank-like, and that's because a lot of my lenders have been burned before, but they're coming back because they still believe in the yields. They love the yields you can get by investing in a trustee secured note, which you can't really get anywhere else easily, at least not with the security features that a deed of trust offers. And so in order to get that 8 to 10% yield, they're coming back but now they're a little bit more careful, and so now it does matter to them. Tell me about the borrower. What's the borrower's credit history? Can we get his tax returns? I mean, we don't always do it based on tax returns, but the more information we can get on a borrower, the more transparent the borrower is willing to be about himself, his experience, his credit profile, the easier it is for us to quickly fund his loan. And moreover, we can generally get lower than what used to be traditional hard money rates, like
12, 14%.
Yeah, right, 12, 13, 14% was fairly normal for a no questions asked hard money loan. Well, nowadays we're if the borrower has a high FICO and is willing to share his financial information, oftentimes we can offer interest rates that are more compelling. So, for example, it's not unusual today for us to make a single-digit note rate. So, in other words,
2%. No, I'm just kidding.
Gosh, I wish. I wouldn't know how to make any money on that. Or at least I wouldn't be able to pay my investors any money. But we're closing on an 8.5% commercial loan next week. That's on the low side. In fact, 8.5% is I've done several loans at that rate, and it's the lowest rate I've been able to achieve this year. But it's generally when it's well below 50% loan to value, and there's a strong borrower or a very compelling story or a very compelling exit strategy. I mean, there's some combination of factors that make that loan so compelling that the risk is really it's really defined. You can really define the risk. The parameters, the risk parameters, are very easy to judge, and so it's almost like a no-brainer, as we like to call it.
Okay. Well, how do people get a hold of you if they want to borrow money or if they want to invest with you?
Well, if you're interested in looking at what a private money loan might be able to do for you, help you leverage your real estate strategies, go to our borrower site, which is PacificPrivateMoney.com, of course, all one word, PacificPrivateMoney.com. And if you want to learn more about trust deed investing, so you can maybe earn 8 to 10% using your IRA monies or your savings, in fact, any money you have, we don't care. Go to PacificPrivateInvestments.com. pacificprivate.com. That's Pacific Private Investments.
And you can always go on bestofinvesting.com.
Indeed.
Okay, thoughts for the day. Radio waves travel at 186,000 miles per second, which is the same as the speed of light. Sound waves travel at 700 miles per hour. So a broadcast voice can be heard 13,000 miles away than it can be heard from the back of the room in which it originated. And I always wondered why it took you so long to react to my comments, Mark. And Hallmark makes cards for 105 different relationships. Gee, and I thought I was a player. Oh, now I get it. Okay, next week's guest will be David Vogelstein, a high-profile attorney who will discuss white-collar crimes with us. You won't want to miss it. Tune in next week to the Best of Investing. We're going to be giving away 9 more free vacations for answering trivia questions, and get ready for another special trivia contest soon. Thanks for listening. On behalf of our team, I'm Edward Brown, wishing you the best of investing. So long. Perfect timing.
Wow. I didn't realize I was running long.
Oh, yes.
Wow, that's good.
Well, it wasn't. No, it necessarily wasn't. But necessarily wasn't you. I like it.
Yeah.
You got the most comfortable hats.
I'm gonna get a
Yeah, I
couple
like
of you.
the Videozog hat too. It's
Yeah.
got the right shape. It's not too big.
It's just very comfortable. And it's funny, I'm not a big hat